like 15, 20 minutes.
Hey,
Hey. Welcome to the Focused and Fulfilled podcast with the Busy Boss Mamas. I'm Stephanie Mitchell.
and
This is my
I'm
beautiful sister, Crystal
Crystal
Borgeson.
Borgeson. That's right. Ta-da!
Ta-da! It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been on here. No
Yes.
excuses, right? No excuses. We just, haven't. Life's been
Yeah.
busy, right? And what's funny is that we wanted to talk today about busy lives because that's what we're about is as the busy boss mamas, we want to be able to help you as a super busy boss mama yourself to be able to become more focused and fulfilled and intentional in your life with your time because we both have 6 kids. We homeschool. We know what it's like to be uber busy all the time and just feel like it's so easy to let yourself fall by the wayside. So, this is really hitting hard right now for both of us. We were talking on the phone earlier today, and actually several times this week about this because dang, we just started school.
Yeah.
September, we just started school. We see everybody's kids back to school pictures on Facebook, and for a lot of moms, this is the time that things slow down for them and they're able to start getting some of their own stuff done. For us and other homeschooling moms, if that's you, this is the time when things really kick up for us. So
Yeah.
um,
As
we are,
homeschooling moms, you don't end up going out and doing quite as much in town during the summer
yeah,
because you wait till the fall and then you've incorporated it into school. And so you're going and going and going the whole time. But during the summer, part of the reason we weren't doing this is because not only were we working on some other stuff that's exciting and we can't wait to share, but we also were working on getting school ready. And that is so much work in itself.
it is so much work. And now, school homeschooling's a full-time job. So um, I was getting a lot of time working on these cool business things that we're working on um, over the summer. And now, school's taking all day. And so we've both been talking this week, like, dang, we really got to start like honing in on getting control over our time and what we're spending time on because there's more to do than there will ever be time for. And so it's really takes some serious intention. So today I was working on my schedule and I'm like, okay, I know what I have to do. Like I have the to-do list and all the things, and Crystal and I've been talking about the things we're doing for our business and what we both need to be working on and whatever, but it's the matter of being like, okay, when's that going to happen? Because school takes till, from like 8 to 3 or whatever, 8 to 2, 8 to 3. And so where is everything going to fit in with trying to find time to work on our stuff and then also taking care of the house and running kids around and making dinner and doing laundry?
And getting everybody to bed on time so we can, like, the honest truth is the majority of work has to get done early in the morning if you're going to get good work time in. But for me, like, I am not somebody who runs on 4 hours of sleep. I cannot do 4 hours of sleep. I can't do 6 hours of sleep for more than a day or two. So I don't. So I need like 7 hours and 20 minutes is like perfect. I've timed it. I've timed it because, like, the best sleep that you can get is before 10 in the night. You get really good sleep, rejuvenating sleep. But sleep cycles are about an hour and a half long. And so you really want to catch it as a sleep cycle where you're lightly sleeping, which is about every 90 minutes. Mine's slightly less. So it's like 7 hours and 20 minutes.
That's pretty
And I'm
incredible. I
like,
have not done that. I just know I need like 7 to 8 hours and I'm good.
yeah,
So
somewhere in there.
yeah, somewhere in there. So anyway, what we want to talk about today, and this strategy has helped us so much to be able to figure out, okay, we got to fit all this in. Like, how can we do the things? And it's taking advantage of, I guess you could call it a system, the 168-hour system, right? And this came from a book that I read years ago called The 168 Hours by Laura Vanderkam, and it was so good. And it was a book talking about how, like, we all have the same 168 hours in a day. So why is it that 168 hours in a day, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Or it would suck.
It would be a really long day. A really long day.
Yeah, 168 hours in a week. And some people get a heck of a lot done in that 168 hours and they can keep moving forward till they're towards their goals. And some people just really don't get much done of anything. And I think that if most of us would just not get a whole lot of anything. I mean, we do a lot of things, but we wouldn't finish a lot of things if we aren't intentional about it. So,
yeah. So we should talk about that in depth next podcast.
What?
The 168 hours book more in depth. What drove you to pick up the 168-hour book again? Because you've read it a couple times.
Well, I think that when I had more time in the summer, it was like there was just more time to play with. And so I was able to get certain things done. But now I'm like, holy crap, I really got to like get it really figured out. And it's kind of like a puzzle, you know? So I took out my planner, and my planner has like, it's separated by hours every day. And I took a separate piece of paper and was like, okay, this is how much school time takes a week. This is how much time I spend doing sleeping a week. These are the times I always block off like my Sundays, and like, I don't want to count those in my hours because I just want them to be open like Sunday, and then like Friday night I hang out with the kids and whatever. So anyway, figured all that out. Then I can see exactly mathematically how many hours I have left after those main things that have to get done. And so it helps me to see how much time is realistic to spend on certain things. And there's been times like where when I sat and looked at what I was spending my time on with the 168 hours, there's been times in my life where with meal times and everything, I was spending literally like 6 to 8 hours in the kitchen between feeding kids and cleaning up and everything and cooking.
Yeah, for sure.
And
how did you recognize that you needed to go back to your book and pick that up and do all those things that you're saying you were doing?
How did I recognize I needed to?
Yeah, because I think a lot of us get going and we're like on the treadmill and we're like, I hate everything. I hate my life. Everything sucks so bad. And it's so like, why can't I get on it?
I think it was just realizing with the school thing that because really it was the last few days of being like, okay, after school, I got to get XYZ thing done. I'm going to go run to the coffee shop and try to get a little bit of work done. And then that didn't happen.
You can't hear that.
Oh, I can.
You can. His dad sent him inside. I know he did. I heard him because he was out playing, and his dad.
Your door is opening.
Here, you keep talking and I'll mute this so nobody has to listen to him.
Okay. So I was just like finding at the end of every day, like, I am not getting this stuff done. Got to get it done. So I really need to hammer out what is exactly, a realistic, doable, and possible. What's possible? Because a lot of us are like, I'm so busy, I couldn't ever do that. I couldn't ever fit this in. Like, I couldn't ever do anything extra. I hear a lot of moms who are like, oh, I'd really love to make money from home. I'd love to do something, but I could never have time. So the 168 hours exercise really helps you see what's possible and what's realistic. And so for me, it was like, okay, I know you said like, what made me pick it up? Well, because the time was getting really slim. And I think
I asked you that because I think a lot of people possibly listening they're like, I don't know, everything's crazy. Where do I even start? I don't know what's going on. and just like what cues, because this happens. This is something that Steph does. I know she does this regularly. Like stuff starts to get, at what point do you recognize that you're like,
Yes.
okay, I need to reevaluate.
Okay, I see what
When
you're
would you
saying.
determine
Yes.
when you should be reevaluating? Because your summer schedule is different. So at some point you had to
It's,
have been like, wow, stuff's getting out of control here. And then you reevaluate and do that. As opposed to like, I think people have this idea that you get on a schedule and then that's just how it is all the time. Does your schedule regularly change?
yes. And I'm glad you brought this up because it was frustration that was like, okay, I can't do this or I'm gonna burn out. And I've burnt
Right
out with
there.
homeschooling before. Burnout.
Yes, right
Yeah,
there. Before the burnout.
before
Before
the
the
burnout.
burnout.
Yes, because I've burnt out before and I'm really scared. Okay, go, buddy. I'm really scared about burning out again because I know I can't pour from an empty cup. This is what we're trying to help other moms do, is
Yeah.
not get to the point where you're trying to go and give and then everything that matters to you gets put to the wayside. And so I knew I had to have time to continue on what we're working on because we've set these goals and these deadlines for the programs we're creating and I was dropping the ball. And so it made me feel so much better to take a look at my schedule and say, okay, I can work in the morning after I do my morning like Bible readings and prayer and all that stuff. I should be able to have an hour and a half of work time in the morning, 5 days a week. And then if I can squeeze in a couple other blocks of work time, then I can feed my passions and still have time for the things at home. And so,
Yep.
like I
Well,
said,
your
I
work
put,
time does feed your passions too.
huh?
I said your work time does feed your passions. That's
Exactly.
why it's
That's
so overwhelming that she doesn't get time for it, is because working and doing this is hers and my passion. So maybe yours is a work from home job, or you really want to start a business, or you really want, you want to sew or something you, or heck, for me, I do also need that time because I want to be alone. Don't talk to me anymore. And when I go
yes.
downstairs and my spouse is sleeping on the couch, I'm like, oh,
I just want to be alone.
I just want to be alone.
I know. I feel the same way. It's like I love waking up with my husband in the morning before work because I'm like, oh, we can have coffee together. And then
Well,
I
but
get
it
up
interrupts her work time.
but it interrupts my time.
I need my rejuvenation time. I'll talk to
That's
you
like
tonight.
introverts unite, man.
It is. Well, everybody has their way that like they feel really rejuvenated. I think everybody needs time alone. But anyway, I only interrupted you to make note that that is something that rejuvenates you. So you make sure it's on your list as your morning thing and why you would take that time. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for
and I like seeing the 168 hours because I mean there's a bajillion benefits. We could talk about this for like an hour, but like when you're looking at it and you're going, okay, well, I don't really have as much time as I need for XYZ thing, or I'm noticing that I don't have all the things in here that need to be in here. And so you can have a good look of like what needs to maybe be adjusted. And so
if you're not like a type A person who really likes to write everything down like that, and you're somebody who's like, yeah, I just want to do stuff. And you know what? I think I want to get up in the morning tomorrow, but I really like this TV show tonight. Oh, yeah, I really like doing this. And you're just kind of flitty like that, but you hate sitting down the way like Steph and we're write it down. We're going to look at all the information and we love all that. If that's not you, well, then I guess this podcast isn't free. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we
no,
were.
it's perfect because we are like total information nerds. So we gather information and then we share it with you in bite-sized pieces. So
Yes. But like if you are that person, then decide on what you really want. And say you really are craving, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work on my sewing tomorrow all by myself. I would love to do that. Or to get up with my daughter in the morning or my son and just wake them up, or my husband or whatever, and do that. Then recognize that you'd rather do that than watch TV tonight.
exactly. It helps you see like, okay, what am I actually spending my time on? What do I want to spend my time on? And how do I create these blocks?
Yeah.
And so Yeah, I think it's a super helpful exercise. So if you are finding like, well, even if you have a lot of time, because really whatever we do will just like expand to fill the time that we give it, right? So if you
Yeah.
want to get more done, like I think we all do, um,
Well,
take
more,
a look at,
not more done per se, more things that you want done. The things that
yes,
you
and
want to do
completed.
done.
Yeah. Um, and completed. I think it's helpful to take a look at how you're spending your 168 hours. You have more time than you think. And you also probably spend more time than you think doing things that don't actually fuel you. So that's our challenge this week, is to take a look at what you're spending your 68 hours on and what you want to be spending your 168 hours on, and make time for it.
Yeah. I mean, if you like to write stuff down and you're like us, write it out,
Mhm.
and look at it.
Time
And
block it. You can Google 168 hour spreadsheet and print one out. I used to do that every week until I had a planner that had it in there. And I block it out, what I'm going to do. And I love it. So anyway,
do that. Otherwise, think about the stuff that's important to you and start making time for it. Like, is Facebook for an extra 30 minutes like something you really want to do, or would you rather read that book that you've had on your list forever? And even if you don't
exactly.
feel like picking it up, be like, well, I'd really want to have it read, even though I don't feel like reading right now, but Facebook's not doing anything for me.
Yeah.
Or
And it gives you
TikTok.
permission too to do things like,
Yeah.
to be like, oh, I already blocked out time for that, so I can do this other thing now. Or like, I know that I'm gonna have time for, I know I've given myself time for this and that. And it releases you of guilt, right? To just do the things that you intend. You've put intention behind it. You've given your brain something to focus on.
Yeah. So if you're like Friday night, my husband and I sit on the couch and watch 3 hours of movies, then you've blocked it in and you know that's what you're going to do right there. That means something to you, spending that time doing it. And you don't feel bad being like, I have all these other things to do. Because especially as moms, we're like, no, I don't have time to wash my baseboards. I got to do the baseboards and I got to do this. Sometimes like time with your spouse is probably good. Or if you're burnt out, like taking the time for that.
Yep.
So
All right. Well, we need to go. We wanted to keep this short. I've got to get kids to swim lessons.
So she's into the evening
I'm,
hustle and the ride and
I'm,
football
yeah,
change.
I'm staring at my 4-year-old here in my bathroom naked, waiting for me to put on her swimsuit. So
Oh, she's ready to go.
she's ready to go. She's right behind the camera.
Your 7-year-old, I'm sure, is standing right there too. We gotta
He's
go.
he's out, but he's
We
like,
gotta
yeah,
go.
he's done in his swimsuit. Yeah. He's like, I guess we're gonna be late again. I'm
No,
like, I
we
won't take
aren't.
you at all,
Only you
pal.
are.
Yes. All right. Well, we will see you next time on the Busy Boss
The
Wellness
Busy Boss
Podcast,
Mama.
Focus and
Focused
Fulfilled
and
Podcast.
fulfilled. That's right.
Have a good day, guys. Love you much.
Bye.
Bye.